Hi everyone, Dr. David Kulla here with Synergy Wellness in New York City. Today I'm going to show you how we deal with, Edison here has a shoulder injury that we've been dealing with, and he's doing really well. Just had a little bit of a flare-up, and we found that his shoulder is out of place. But this video I want to show you how we deal with tendonitis in the wrist. Okay, and also carpal tunnel syndrome. This is great for carpal tunnel syndrome and any kind of tendonitis anywhere in the body. It's called cold laser therapy. And he had some pain in the wrist prior to us doing this laser treatment, just from making a fist and a grip, a tight grip. He says that using a screwdriver or any kind of tools or the twisting of the arm really aggravates it. Anything else aggravate it?
So far only when I use screwdrivers or stuff like that.
Screwdrivers or tools? Okay. Does it hurt you at night at all?
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of times people feel like their hand is going numb or falling asleep. And if that happens at night, or in the morning when you wake up and you notice your hands are numb, then most likely it is carpal tunnel syndrome. But you can also have carpal tunnel syndrome with tendonitis. And that's what we're dealing with most likely. He probably does have carpal tunnel syndrome. We can run an expensive EMG test on him in the back room, but there's really no need to do that, okay? Because with carpal tunnel syndrome and tendonitis, we can treat it very easily. And the treatment is much cheaper and safer than having to go through the EMG test. And I already know that he has a bit of carpal tunnel syndrome because he's telling me he has numbness in his hands. They go to sleep at night, but then he has pain during the day when he tries to use his hands. So we do all four corners here of the wrist. And we actually already treated his wrist. I'm not going to make you watch this whole thing, but we do about a minute. This is a 25-watt laser, so we do about a minute and a half to 2 minutes on each side of his wrist, on all four sides, front, back, and from each side. Go ahead and squeeze your hand and make a fist. How does that feel?
Yeah, I feel better. Yeah,
Better?
much better, yes.
Okay. So, typically we would do about 6 treatments, and usually that's enough on the wrist. The wrist is a thin joint, so we're able to penetrate all the way through it, going from the front and the back. And typically, again, wrists respond very, very quickly. So now we're going to go ahead and correct his shoulder. I'm going to show you how we came up with what's going on with his shoulder. Again, I've been treating him for a while. He's had a couple of different various subluxations in the shoulder girdle. There's a few different joints. You have the SC, the AC joint. You have glenohumeral joint, the scapulothoracic. So there's a lot of different areas in the shoulder girdle. It's not that simple. Okay, go ahead, take a deep breath in and blow all the way out. And he also complained of some cracking in his shoulder. Go ahead, turn over on your back for me. Okay, put your arms out like this. Yep. So this is a test for an anterior humerus. So this tells me if his humerus is sitting anterior and subluxated forward and anterior in the glenohumeral joint. And 1, 2, 3, hold. And this shoulder goes out, blows out much weaker, much faster. So that's how we know he has an anterior humerus here, okay? We're going to do a couple other tests here that will probably be negative. And 1, 2, 3, resist. 1, 2, 3, resist. And this one. And 1, 2, 3, resist. 1, 2, 3, resist. We're going to go back to that other hand. Palm out. And 1, 2, 3, resist. 1, 2, 3, resist. Okay. Any pain when I do that the last two tests?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit? Relax your arm here. So those 2 tests were a little bit weak. So it tells me his pec major is tight, which makes sense. The pec major, pec minor pulls the shoulder forward and down, while the pec major pulls the shoulder forward. And what did I just say was wrong with this shoulder? The glenohumeral joint, it's forward, it's anterior. So we definitely want to loosen this muscle up. Relax yourself here. It's sore, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It shouldn't be sore, folks. So that's how we know we're on the right track here. And it feels like a rock here. You've been lifting the weights lately, huh? Pumping the iron. All right. So we sent him home with some exercise. I haven't seen him in several weeks, which is a good thing. That means he's doing well. And he was doing the exercises, and I can watch to see that he's going through each exercises and doing them. So he had good adherence to the exercises, and that's why he's doing so well. This is his first appointment in over a month, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was overdue, but it's not as bad as it has been when he first started here. And relax here. So you can stretch this muscle. Do you have a lacrosse ball at home?
Yes.
Okay. You can take that lacrosse ball and just roll it in here.
Okay.
Or you can take your hand and do this like I'm doing. And put your hand up on the upper part of the couch here while you're sitting on the couch.
Okay.
And then take this hand and just go
It's a lot of pain.
go in there. Take the lacrosse ball and go in there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but look at this side. It's not nearly as sore, is it?
Okay. No, not so.
So I'm going to do a little bit of pin and stretch here. It's also called ART, active release technique, on the pec muscle. Yeah, it's going to be sore. You okay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now we're going to test that again, and let's see what we find here. Okay, and on 3, you're going to resist me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, resist. 1, 2, 3, resist. Good. Notice the difference there?
Yeah, a lot.
A big difference. Even he noticed it. You heard him go, ooh, much, much stronger. Now we're going to correct the shoulder because that's not, the anterior humerus isn't fixed. So remember that arm blew out weak? Let's test it again. And then we'll adjust them, and then we'll retest it. On 3, 1, 2, 3, resist. Okay, and it hurts a little bit, yeah. So sit up and face the camera. Okay, so just relax yourself here. Okay, lay on your back. Now sometimes on that we'll hear a click or a clunk, and you'll hear the shoulder go back, and sometimes you won't. All right, let's go ahead and test that again. And on 3, 1, 2, 3, resist. How was that?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Now I'm going to check your neck. So you see there, his arm got stronger on that left side. It wasn't painful. And that's how we know we fixed it. And that's the beauty of extremities. When adjusting them, you can double check them or test them again, muscle test them again, to see if your adjustment was effective. Whereas the spine, you cannot do that. There's no real muscle test where you can double check. And relax yourself here. Good. All right, folks, that's it. If you have a shoulder injury and it's not getting better with physical therapy, it may be because your shoulder's out of alignment. Something simple like that. It could be clicking, popping on the shoulder, or just pain, or physical therapy for months and months that just isn't working. You got to have your shoulder in alignment in order for the soft tissue to heal. Thanks for tuning in.